guys, how are you doing? As you can see, I still haven't got my new camera, so you're still seeing me all blurry, but I look like actual shit today, so that's probably a good thing. But hopefully my camera will be arriving very soon. I said to you guys that I was going to be doing more light-hearted content, and I asked you on the Twitter which one I should do, and you voted for this. So I'm going to do this video about my job looking after cats. So, without further ado, here is the life of a cat sitter. Working as a cat sitter is a really nice job to have if you can have it. There are people I would recommend it for and people I would not recommend it for. So I wouldn't recommend it for someone who needs a really stable job and needs to pay rent and stuff like that. Because it's not a very stable job, you're just working on agency, you're just feeding cats, you're not earning a huge amount of money. So if you're someone who is in that situation where you need to pay rent, I wouldn't recommend it unless you're doing it as well as another job. But saying that, there are a lot of people who I would recommend it to. Obviously I'd recommend it to anyone who loves cats. I would recommend it to people who for some reason can't do full-time jobs or need something to fit around a job or studying. I would recommend it to anyone who is looking for a job but doesn't have the experience. I feel you, we've all been there. If you're at that stage in your life, it's a really good idea. And I would recommend it to anyone who prefers working by themselves. Like, you probably know I used to get in trouble for having blue hair and stuff where I worked before. So if you're someone who doesn't want to deal with all that or be in an office, it's a great job for you because you're by yourself a lot of the time. The job itself is lovely. The way it usually works is I will have a certain amount of assigned clients a day. I usually have more on the weekend. I'm paid per half hour because a session of cat sitting is usually half an hour. The cats usually have one feed a day, but sometimes I can have a cat that needs 2 feeds a day because it's a little kitten. Hello, you just ran down the stairs. Oh, hello, baby. There you are. Hey, baby. Hello. Meow. My baby boy and girl. Gorgeous. Oh, you like the teddy? Oh, dog. You like the dog? Oh. Should we have some breakfast? Yay! And that's quite nice. So what I usually do is I'll do my local area and then have lunch in the high street or something, and then I'll go further afield and do the later ones in the afternoon. I can hear you meowing. Hello, baby. You have some dinner? As unglamorous as it is, sometimes animals can have little accidents. They can throw up, they can miss the litter tray. I don't know, it's not very nice, but it's a side of life we all have to deal with. I've worked with children for a very long time, and it's the same with animals. Sometimes you have to clear up that kind of thing, and I should have resources to do that. It's the client's job to leave something out so I can sort out that kind of thing, but unfortunately not all clients do. Here is a list of actual things I have been left to clear up that kind of mess. Tissues, toilet paper, a pack of baby wipes with only 3 wipes in there, tea towel, nothing. So generally I find it's good to have some wet wipes in my bag, but I also have had clients that leave stuff out like a pack of floor wipes, a pack of gloves, everything I could need. And are really good at leaving that kind of thing out, but unfortunately not all are, or I don't know the kitchen and I don't know where the bin liners are and stuff like that, which is why it's good for me to have my own things. But I've learned the hard way, the very hard way, what it's like when people don't leave the right equipment out. As you can imagine, feeding and cleaning up the poop of cats is not a very high energy job, and it's not a very highly skilled job, obviously. But that aside, other than the fact it's very low effort, you also have quite a lot of responsibility because you're responsible for an animal and you're responsible for someone's property. If you ever forget to lock the house or something, obviously that would be a problem. So you have to take certain things on board, like make sure the animal's okay, make sure the house is locked up, not break anything, etc. Other than that, it's really low effort, which is nice. There's a lot of travelling around, so it can be quite tiring. So if you're someone who gets easily tired by like getting lots of public transport or walking a lot, maybe it's not for you. But the travelling's like the most difficult part of the job, to be honest. Once I'm there, it's fairly easy. Come on, Princess Margot. Come on. Beautiful girl. There's my girl. My clothes often look like this. But other than that, it's really nice. So in case any of you don't normally watch my videos, basically I am qualified as a yoga teacher and I'm trying to find work doing that. But it's hard and my mental health hasn't been good. So I couldn't just be unemployed. So I had to just find a day job doing something. And this is my day job now. And I haven't really got any work doing yoga yet. I'm going to start trying again soon. But I just needed a day job, so it was that or go on benefits. And in case you guys didn't know, I have a whole list of videos about how horrible the job centre is and how horrible it is to be on benefits, and I really didn't want to. So I just needed to find a bit part job. I didn't want to go back to working in nurseries, so I thought I'll sign up to either a nannying agency or a babysitting agency. I did end up signing up to a babysitting agency, and they never contacted me. And I signed up to the cat sitting agency and they ended up getting me loads of work. So well done, cat sitting people. With my agency, it all works from a website and I have to do daily updates on the website that the client can see. So I'll put a picture of the cat happily eating or something and maybe a little message about how they were, just so they know that I've been and that I'm reliable and that the cat is fine. So it's good to do that. It's good practice and it's like company policy, we have to do it. Just to summarise how it works, they obviously get the clients and charge the clients a certain amount, and then I get an amount of that, and the company take a bit obviously and do the tax and everything, and then I get some of the money. One reservation I do have with it working that way, for example, if a client was unhappy with the price, like there was an additional rate or it was more expensive than they thought it was going to be, and they want to get the price down and make a complaint, the complaint goes against me. For example, imagine my boss's name is Sarah and the client, Susan, has a problem with Sarah making the prices so high. Susan could then make a complaint against me to get the prices down. And obviously then I'm in a bad situation. I'm not saying it happens, but it happens. That's something that is a risk. So you have to cover your own back, as is the case in most jobs. You have to cover your own back sometimes so you don't get in trouble, so someone can't accuse you of doing something that you didn't do or not doing what you should have done. So what I've started doing now is when I add to the system, I don't just put a picture of the cat happily playing or eating. I'll also take a picture of the food bowls so they can see that they're full, the water bowl or water fountain where they can see that that's full, and the litter tray so they can see that it's empty. So no one can say, this person didn't feed my cat or this person didn't give enough water, can I have a discount? If it's overpriced and they think they need a discount, maybe that's true, maybe it is too expensive, but I don't want to lose my job because of being thrown under the bus. So I'll go out, collect the key, meet the people, meet the cat, learn where the cat food is. I'll be paid for that trip to get the key. Usually at the end of the period when I'm feeding the cats, I'll put the key back through the letterbox. The most important thing about leaving at the end of session of working with that particular animal is to make sure that everything's clean and tidy before you leave. Just basic obvious things. Leave it in a really nice condition so the people will be happy with you and want to have you again. So that's best for everyone. As well as getting to work with animals and as well as getting to work by myself. Another thing about working as a cat sitter is you do get to travel around to all different parts of your local area. So for me that is London, which is a really diverse city. So I've been to green areas of London, busy areas of London.
They just switched on a gene that had been switched off. That's not how genes work. It is actually. Chickens have the genes, the teeth, they're inactivated. They're obviously planning on overthrowing the government or something with the dinosaur.
I've been in flats that I would definitely not eat in, and I've been in places that I could probably eat off the floor. And I've been in like small, humble, average houses, and I've been in like huge luxury apartments. which is very interesting because I'll probably never live somewhere like that, so it's good to kind of be able to go in there and pretend I'm rich and pretend I own the place. It's nice to see different houses and different parts of London, because in a normal job you might just be inside in your place of work all day, and then at the end of the day you only have time to go home and you don't really have time to see your local town or city. So that's quite an interesting thing about it. It's very important with this particular company, and probably other similar companies, to be quite vigilant about what is going onto your schedule. You don't always get a notification. It's also important to check that the days are correct, because one time I had a client booked on there for 3 days, but it was only meant to be 2 days, and I didn't realise it had to change. And I turned up at her house and put the key in the lock, and she was on the other side, which was very embarrassing and awkward, but I just apologised for being there on the wrong day and went away. So I texted my boss about it, and she said, "Don't be embarrassed, it happens to all of us. I've walked in on naked men." And apparently another member of staff went to pick up keys once, and the couple were, in the words of my boss, going at it like rabbits. The life of a cat sitter! With some of the cats, they do like to sit on you, and then once they've sat on you, you cannot move. I've especially learnt that with one of the cats I look after, that before I sit down and get myself comfortable, I will make sure I've got my phone in my hand and it's plugged into the wall, because otherwise I'm not moving and she can be there a long time.
Help me! Help me!
I can just do stuff on my phone and have her on my lap, do my tweets. I can update the system. I can do all that while I'm sitting down with her on me. Obviously, if I then have to go to a job straight after or something, I don't sit down and get comfortable, because then I won't be able to leave. With my own cat I have at home, Pikachu, he's a baby, so when he sits on me, if I really need to move, I'll throw something and he might run after it, because kittens like to play. But this particular cat is an old lady cat, and once she gets comfortable, she doesn't want to move. Yay, Pikachu! No? No. So I really don't sit down and get comfortable in this particular flat unless I have my phone and it's on charge, and unless I know that I don't have a job to go to straight after. Another thing I've experienced is that cat sitting is a really weird concept for some people, and when someone asks how your career's going, the worst question I ever get asked. When someone asks how your career's going and you say you're a cat sitter, their response can be anything from,
"Oh my god, that's a real job you can do?"
and
That's not a real job.
And a lot of the time I have to explain, yes, that's a real job. And I guess it isn't, in the sense that like YouTube and stuff like that isn't seen as a real job, but in the sense that you can do it and gain money for your services, like, it's a job. That's also another good idea for if you are trying to get out of the unemployment rut, which we all know, I know so well. A lot of people, however, do react really positively to me being a cat sitter, or to that being a thing, and they'll say, "Oh my god, how do you get that job?" And I would say, in answer to that, just Google cat sitting companies in your area. There will be some. Like, it doesn't rival a stable job for how much it will help you in your life, but to get out of unemployment or something, it's great. And for looking after lovely animals, it's great. I hope you liked this video, guys. If you did, give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, sorry. Subscribe if you want to see more videos of me talking about stuff, because that's all I do nowadays. And please let me know of any jobs that you've had, whether they were good, bad, if you've had any weird experiences in a new job or working for agencies. Let me know in the comments, because I like to talk and I need validation. And hopefully I'll have my new camera soon, so I won't be looking so fuzzy. Hope you have a lovely evening. Bye!